Hi everyone, Gilliam Elliott here. Today I want to talk to you about patient waiver agreements. You know, patient waiver agreements are one of the most important documents a medical tourism company can have because they protect your business from potential legal disputes. So as you may know, our company, Medical Tourism Business, provides pre-made medical tourism contracts, and one of these contracts is a patient waiver agreement. So I'm just going to take a few moments to cover what's in this agreement so you can have a better understanding of what you'll be getting once you purchase the medical tourism contracts. So one of the most fundamental things that the patient waiver agreement does is has a client acknowledge both the risk and the benefits of seeking medical treatment abroad. And so this is really important because they're going to sign off on this document and the document lets them know all the benefits of getting medical treatment abroad as well as the drawbacks of getting medical treatment abroad. And by them signing this document, they're taking responsibility, saying that they acknowledge what comes with medical tourism. And so risks are involved. So you want them to acknowledge that. And it's not just medical tourism that has risk. Also, if they get a procedure done locally, there's going to be risk as well. But you just want to protect yourself as a medical tourism facilitator. And you also want to make sure you're as transparent as possible with them. And you do that through the patient waiver agreement. So this agreement does that. And in this agreement, it also outlines what you'll be responsible for as a medical tourism facilitator and what you won't be responsible for as a medical tourism facilitator. And what I mean by that is in this contract, it lets them know that you're a medical tourism facilitator. You are a healthcare provider. All the information you'll be providing to them will be educational in nature. And it also outlines to them that you won't be giving them any official medical advice. And it just gives them a clear understanding of what your role will be in this medical tourism process, just so they're fully aware of what you do and how you operate and what you're responsible for. And like I said, what you're not responsible for. And you don't want to misrepresent yourself and have them thinking that you're a healthcare provider or having them think that you're going to give them some type of medical advice. You want to let them know that everything that you'll be giving them as far as information is going to be to help them make better decisions through the medical tourism process. You want to let them know that if they want official medical advice, they're going to have to talk to either their local doctor or they're going to have to talk to the overseas healthcare provider that you partner with. But you want to let them know what you'll be providing to them will be strictly for educational purposes only. And that's why we outlined that in this contract, so there's no confusion. A lot of times patients make the mistake of thinking that the medical tourism facilitator and the overseas hospital is one entity. And that couldn't be further from the truth. As a medical tourism facilitator, you're a completely separate entity than the overseas healthcare provider. And the patient waiver agreement outlines that. That way there's no confusion. So if something does go unplanned on the medical tourism journey or during the medical tourism procedure, they know who's responsible for what, and they can look at the patient waiver agreement and get a clear understanding of that. And that's actually one of the key benefits of a patient waiver agreement. It avoids a lot of lawsuits because it clearly outlines as a medical tourism facilitator, you won't be responsible for things outside of your control and outside of your responsibilities. Whether that's the treatment, whether that's something that goes unplanned on that medical tourism trip, it lets them know what your role will be and what your role will consist of and what your role will not consist of. And so I can't emphasize that anymore. The clear thing that these contracts do is let the patient know exactly who you are and how you're going to help them, just so there's no confusion and there's no gray area and everything's in black and white. So our pre-made medical tourism contracts are customizable and they're made to be altered. So if you want to take them to an attorney and have them customized even further, you can do that, but you can also use them as they are. But I always advise medical tourism facilitators to take the contracts to their attorney and have the attorney customize them for them, but you don't have to do that. But I always think that's a good practice to do. That way the attorney doesn't have to start from scratch. That's why a lot of people get these contracts, because they don't have to start from scratch. They don't have to pay thousands and thousands of dollars to have one contract made. Our contract package comes with every medical tourism contract you'll need to operate and run the company. So if you guys have any questions, I'm going to leave my email address below in the description. But thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.